Alright, how's everyone doing? Hope you're having a lovely day. This is episode 2 of my garden, and without further ado, let's get on into this. So after last week, the following day, because I had pests starting to show signs, especially on the tomatoes, on some of the cantaloupe, and a couple other varieties I'm currently growing. So I sprayed everything with neem oil the following day, and the day after that I gave everything a really good feeding of Neptune's tomato and veg, and everything right now is pumping. Since then, 1 week later, everything is doubled in growth. There's a lot of flowers starting on everything, and this is an exciting point. Which is an exciting point is when you start seeing a lot of that disease start coming. But it's all about prevention, good pruning. And that's another thing I did. I pruned everything back, and that also really helped pushing new growth. But let's start off right here. I'm going to show you these eggplants. And these eggplants all got a bunch of flowers starting on these. More flowers starting, or who knows, maybe I'm supposed to be almost like a like tomato, but I don't know. We're gonna let these go, and they're looking good. The cantaloupe is starting to kick. Pushing big leaves. Like I said, started a little late on these, but they are really starting to kick. Look at the peppers, all the little flowers kicking. Yeah, they are happy. They are doing their thing. Now I know, talking about pruning peppers, you'd have better luck talking politics, but I do not prune my peppers. I tried pruning them 1 year, and this is what happened to me. And this old huge head of parsley, I'm really hoping to save them seeds, so they're going into flower. I'm letting that bulb. The thing is massive, but as of right now, it's looking good. Everything's looking good, so stoked about that. Camacho, I think at one point in his past life, was a cow. But so speaking of disease, something is starting on my red potatoes. I don't know what it is. Some just got these little holes, and I'm not really seeing anything yet, but something's obviously there, because it's being eaten. Got a little discoloration in the leaf here. I don't know what that would be. You can see this right here. What the heck? When I came out here, when I sprayed, I didn't spray the peppers and stuff like that with neem oil, because they're really resilient. Didn't spray the eggplant and a couple other species, but I did spray the red potato because I knew last year, I've never grown red potato before, but last year when I grew the white potato, it got hammered after a certain month, and I guess the infantry came on out and completely wiped them out. Camacho was using the facilities over there. Gotta remember not to step in it, otherwise I'll be in the Hershey factory. But yeah, so look at these leaves. Like, what? I don't know what that would be, so I'm gonna have to do some homework. But pretty much, if neem oil or other remedies along them lines can't fix it, then I'm out the creek. And a little experiment on just how leaflets would grow, and also put a buck chow down in here. They are starting to go. I just watered, so some stuff is knocked out from the watering. Especially on the big plants, I try to water nothing but below the foliage. I don't like getting that water. Oh, and there were 3 cherry tomatoes here. I split them up because I just didn't think they were getting the ventilation, and that was part of the reason for the disease. But you can see it's back. This was looking really good because I pruned this hard, and I thought, is it a spider? What the heck is that? It's like on a web. So tomorrow I'm coming out here, I'm doing another pruning and another spraying of neem. This was where I put the ginger. Before I go, I gotta remember to pull the ginger out of the cupboard because I got ginger and the turmeric that I showed last week. I got it germinating in some wet paper towels and onion and to help push root growth. So I'm hoping that is kicking. But yeah, over here the sweet potatoes are just pumping. And these were the bags from leftover sweet potatoes. Those were bought starters. And there's a white potato here. So I'm just kind of curious to see what this white potato does. Last year is the same one that got slaughtered. It was little ones that were left over from the harvest of last year. We really got no white potato, but yeah, we're just gonna go for it. Worst case scenario, we feed some bugs and we fill some bugs' bellies. So, you know, worst case scenario. One more bag of tubers from last year. I think these are sweet potato and yam, both of these. And you can see this squash is kicking. A little bit of signs of, what is that, worm something or other. But look, we got a baby zucchini. Got one here, got one over there. Yeah, it's an exciting time in the garden. And here's one of the cherry tomatoes that got separated from over there. Still showing some signs, but moved it into an area where it was getting better ventilation. Yeah, this gotta get, I don't know. I'm gonna come out here and do a bunch of work tomorrow, and we'll do some troubleshooting. But let me just step back for a quick second. All the baby okra that I sowed directly in are starting to go. The ones up front are the only ones that are getting fed with the emulsion. And this week I might do the ones in the back, but the ones on the back seem to almost be doing good, so I don't know if it's even worth. And these were the ones that came out of the 72 honeycomb death trap, but they are now starting to bounce. I think everything was in shock, and everything's starting to look a little bit better. Yeah, but look, this okra hasn't gotten any emulsion, no feeding, no nothing, just direct sowed in the sand. And I mean, this is that red mulch that I really, I didn't know about this till after everything had started, but I wanted to rake all this out, do like a layer of straw, a layer of compost, and then like just some like locally sourced wood chips. And so as some wood chips break down in the compost, it will help build up the natural properties. Because look, I mean, that's pure sand. I mean, but this is another one of the cherry tomatoes that came out, because it was this one, that one I just showed, and the one before. And this one doesn't have as much bug damage, but I mean, like I said, just gotta keep spraying with neem, and hopefully blueberries. Actually, I just had a bunch of blueberries off this. They were delicious. That's ready to go. Oh yeah, fruits of the labor. Yeah, man, that yellow squash, I gotta bust these up. Not bust these up, but give them some breathing room, because they're starting to choke each other out. Got a bunch of little baby squashes starting. You really don't need many of these plants, as long as they're taken care of, and they will put some fruit out for you. Last week when I showed these, they were a lot rough shape. This is cantaloupe, and start seeing it starting to push some big leaves. I guess that neem really helped it. But this was the worst one, and I moved it over here into the sunlight. You can see like the moleys still got the scars on it, but they are coming back. Put a watermelon. I put it over here and put it in a bigger pot. I'm gonna let it grow up the fence, and whatever it does, we get a watermelon, that'd be awesome. If not, it's no biggie. Okay, so the carrots are looking good. Carrots are looking really good. And the beets are looking really healthy as well. Got another white potato coming up here because this is where they were planted last year. And got one coming up. The beets are looking, I mean, it could look better. I just watered, so everything's kind of pushed down. Everything was standing up. But these tomatoes, they're not getting a whole lot of sun. They're underneath this white oak, and also all the leaves in this in the beds bring down the pH because it has an acidic value. But I think they're liking it. But you can see flowers starting here. Let me get around this tree real quick. Got flowers starting in here. More flowers starting in here. More flowers starting in here. So yeah, it's going right along. But now on this side they are kicking. I don't know if the camera's capturing it, but these tomatoes, I've always wanted, like, I've never grown tomatoes where there's like you ever see it and there's like 8 of them right there on it. If I have one goal this year, that'd be to get one of those, like 8 tomatoes on one little vine. Just keep feeding. Look at this. Yeah, look at more on this side. Looking good. More on this side. Looking good. More over here. These are cherry tomatoes. Those are either the Romos or the Abes in the back. More over here. Look at them cherries. Starting. More in here. So I'm just going to keep feeding how I'm feeding. And supposedly it's for good, a good quality tomato. So we will see. Before I wasn't fertilizing right in years prior, until I had the year of dumb luck, that bok choy. And you come out here, I'm going to probably harvest maybe one of those big ones, stir fry that up. And some of this lettuce, I'm thinking about trying to transplant into the bed over here, because it's just, you know, I put a bunch of put a bunch of kale, what else? A bunch of kale, and I forget, but none of it seems to be. A couple of them are coming up, but they're way behind the other beds. But you know, whatever. It is, you know, hopefully it comes around a little bit later, and you know, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Transplant all these over here. The papaya, put it into a somewhat bigger pot, and it seems to be really happy. This cherry tomato that's out here on its own seems to do really well. I gotta do something about them other 3 cherry tomatoes, so we will see. That everberry, mulberry, put that in a bigger pot just to keep it going, and then all these are going to get repotted into something bigger. This fig is liking its new big pot. The catnip, oh yeah, the cat can't wait. The cat can't wait. Got new shoots starting on these. These are the wild orchids. 1 pigeon pea coming up. That's it. Of all that, 1 pigeon pea. Maybe I need to start. Yeah. We'll see. And this is that, was it Suriname Cherry? And this is happy in its new pot. It's doing really well. This is the Barbados Cherry, and this is going good. This one when it first arrived, it was not looking good, and it bounced back. Now for its companion, it's been losing leaves. The color of the leaves are really pale, and it's like maybe everything would have been better off in a more neutral, outside of giving everything a feeding, you know, where it's just less is more type of approach with these. But I mean, hey, you live and learn, right? That dwarf banana is pushing out new shoots. It's going one step at a time. One step at a time. And then over here, these are a bunch of peppers. I have no idea what the heck they are. I think one of them was a banana, probably a hot and a sweet, but we will see. The lemon tree is looking good. This had flowers all over it when I got it. I got one more pushing out. I cut them all off because I didn't want the lemon tree wasting its energy. I didn't want the lemon tree wasting its energy on flowering and fruiting, and I wanted it to be focused on growth. Look, you look at all these little flowers, all these soon-to-be peppers. A little bit of a wrinkling in the leaf that could be a slight calcium deficiency. I'm not too sure, but them sugar peas, all these got treated. Well, I got one treatment. Nothing happens overnight, but you can see where they're just getting attacked, and they are just, especially at that lower level. I'm gonna tomorrow I'm gonna put more mulch down, because like I said, I gave a light dusting prior to leaving, and you know, is that a snail right there? Sure is. Oh, I always thought snails were good for your garden. Maybe they're the culprit. But look at these other peppers. Some of them are just kicking. Yeah. You know, so it's like I look at the one bed that's not doing good. It's not, obviously not over here. This is going plenty well. And it's just like, you know, there's so much other stuff that's growing well. These two nice artichoke plants that got transplanted over here from other areas. These beans. The cucumber, when I came out here to spray, I pushed everything right out the fence so they would grow on that side, because beans are not, from what I understand, are not big feeders. Oh yeah, look at that. No, hopefully it's nothing. A little bit of whatever that worm's called, but yeah. So I'm gonna put poles up so they keep on going straight up. But the sunflowers are all looking good. Oh yeah, these sunflowers are kicking, looking lovely. And the other letdown thing is my sunflower bed that I'll show you in a minute. But look at, I got my little pot row of squash over here. Got zucchini right here, yellow, and the rest is all yellow squash. But that zucchini, I'm hyped. Sage looking beautiful as always. Stand back for a minute, just take an overall shot. This muscadine wine, I need to come out here and do some trimming on it. Come around here on this other side. You know, it's kind of trying to feed it through, because this was where the sage was at, and I dug it out and I put it over here just so it's not near my neighbor's property, in case when it does fruit, if it does start dropping, I don't gotta worry about people complaining. So, but this is that Cherokee purple tomato. It was growing really erratic, and so like I just kind of cut it back. See where I cut it right there, but look at all these flowers starting here, all these flowers here. I need to come out, I need to do some staking. The cilantro's coming in, and I planted this much. Hey, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it with your bad boy. Hey, don't. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this got planted much later. This is parsley. But I also treated this kale. I was really hoping to have more kale coming up, and I do got some, so when I come out here tomorrow, maybe I'll try spreading these out so they have a lot of nice room. Got kale over here, kale right here, but that does not look good. I need to do some weeding, but all through here, that's all those are all scallions. And then we got pickling cucumbers back here, 5 plants. I think that one on the end is a squash, and this one here on the end is a squash as well, yellow squash. At first I thought this was what's it called, oregano coming back, because I had oregano growing back here in the clumps. But I mean, you can see compared to the other beds, this just looks much bare. But it's never too late. It's never too late. A bunch of the garlics looks good, but a couple of the other ones, not so much. And like I said, I mean, it was a learning lesson. Germinate it in water on the countertop, and then as soon as it starts throwing shoots and going really green and healthy, the best thing you do is get it out of there and get it in the soil and start feeding the crap out of it, because it's looking for nutrients. And that's what I did. I waited too long, and everything, and all them shoots just went, and so no bueno, Bobby. The onion, the 2-year onion, this better be the most delicious onion I've ever tasted in my life. I will never get the bulb onions again. Definitely going to be going with the starter shoots, because from everyone that I hear, that's just the ticket. What do you think, Camacho? Starter shoots? When he was a puppy, I threw the ball, it went in. Actually, it wasn't a puppy, it was last year. He's 4. The ball went in the bed. Next thing you know, he did a face dive into it. The Mojave mint looking good. This sweet potato I did not plant. I planted one sweet potato plant in here 3 years ago, literally, and ever since then it just keeps coming back. But I did put a bok choy. I put 3 of them in here. 1, 2, and there was 1 here, but apparently it is no mas. Last year it was borage is coming back, because it just put borage over here and over there, because I heard borage was really good for bringing in beneficiary bugs for tomatoes, and a lot of people say that they just kind of grow wild, and they took over, and now I didn't plant any this year, but yeah, because everything went to seed out here. And here is the most disappointing sunflower bed. None. Actually, there's 1 out of probably 1,000 seeds I put through here. So, but I mean, hey, if these 2 are like my only real problem so far this year, you know what? Things can always turn around at the turn of a dime. So, the biggest thing is staying on top of the disease. And then I'm going to show you. That was the hardest part. Let me tell you what. There were 6 baby peaches on here, and cutting them all off. Except for 1, because I didn't want to stun the growth, and I'd much rather have a growing, healthy, thriving peach tree that's going to put out 50 peaches next year, than just try to be selfish and have them 6 this year. So, but I had to leave one because I want to know what it tastes like. You gotta know if the tree's a bust or not. Nah, but and yeah, that's gotta get turned. But last time I checked, I mean, there's worms and all kinds of goodness. Oh yeah, look at all the worms down in there. Yeah, so we are doing good. We are doing good. I got one more thing to show you, and yeah. Alright, so on the last video I showed you the turmeric and the ginger, and I left them in a Tupperware in a dark spot, and they started pushing shoots. After they started pushing shoots, I saw this video on YouTube about how you use onion and it will help start these white shoots. As you can see here, those white root shoots. And there's something about it where onion with turmeric as well as ginger, and there's a couple other species as well, that they will not store onions with them because it will push them into root, which is a cool little trick to learn. And there's a layer of onion underneath the turmeric, and on top of that, on top of the ginger that you just saw, and they are all pushing root. So that is an awesome little trick. It worked. So now we are off to the 72 inch, or not 72 inch, the 1080 72 honeycomb seed starter tray, aka death trap if you leave them too long. First up, we have the hibiscus, the Rosella hibiscus. They push white flowers, and you can make Rosella tea, which looks absolutely divine, and I can't wait to try. Over here is spinach, which have not started shooting. I believe that's a red lettuce, and over there is the Everglades tomatoes, which is really hardy for this area. The bok choy is going, and also the romaine lettuce and Grand Rapids lettuce that have had much success in this area. You guys take care and have a wonderful week.